Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of the Debrief podcast. We're back in the studio this week instead of being outside at Heron. This episode will be discussing Liverpool's defeat to Brighton on Saturday and the Carabao Cup final, and a lot more in this week's debrief. I am joined with my co-host Freya Rathbone for today's episode.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready to debrief?
Yes, I am.
We're going to start off with Liverpool's loss to Brighton on Saturday.
So poor.
Poor, wasn't it? We're going to start off with the positives that I found. Milos Kerkez's goal.
Just one.
Just one this week. Milos Kerkez, he took it like a centre forward, that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Calm on the ball.
Very calm on the ball. Actually, that was the first thing that I said. He looked very calm and composed. Normally he's very rushed on the ball.
He's quite
messy,
a frantic player, I think, and he took it really well. But look, if it wasn't for Lewis Duncan, his silly little header back, thinking Milos Kerkez wasn't there, then we wouldn't have had a goal.
Yeah.
But I think Milos Kerkez, look, he's getting back into that team and he's
looking better. He's playing better as he should, because there was a moment there where I was just had no faith in him at all.
You had no faith in Milos Kerkez. I think, look, he's getting into that team, but I still think Robbo should be playing over Milos Kerkez.
It depends on the types of games that we're playing now and who we're playing, because if we want energy and we want to start strong, I think we should play Kerkez. But if it's if we want to just kind of, don't know how you describe it, but I'd play Robbo instead.
Robbo, if you want a composed kind of game, you'd want Robbo. I'm going to say I thought Milos Kerkez had a great game against Galatasaray. On, was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
We beat them 4-0. I thought he had a great game. I thought they all played really well. There was a lot more energy. There was a lot more...
Because we started off strong.
But my argument is Galatasaray was really poor.
Yeah, that did help.
That really did help. It looked us like we were playing really well. But, look, you can't... I don't know, they were just all round really poor. I thought... I'm going to say, I thought... Mohammed was really poor. I thought he was what was he passing back to Kanate like that for? Kanate wasn't expecting it. Look, and that's what gave Brighton that first goal. I just thought they were really, really poor.
It was one of our biggest mistakes letting go of Kelleher, though.
Oh my
awful.
God. Kelleher.
If he would have waited 2 more years, he would have been our starting goalkeeper.
I would have started 100%. Him over Alisson some games, I thought. But they were playing sort of as I said to you before, literally before we started, they were playing into positions. Obviously, we lost Ekitike. Yeah. Was it about 4 minutes into the match or something?
The way Slot replaced him with Curtis Jones was the most ridiculous thing I've ever watched. How he's come to that decision, I'll never know, because why would you ever replace him with Curtis Jones? He set him up to fail, basically.
Yeah, but we had 3 right-backs in the first half. We had Szoboszlai, Joe Gomez and Curtis Jones.
That's another big problem. That's not to do. We playing players out of position when we've actually got the players who can play in position and play well.
Yeah, and I don't know, it was just really all round Curtis Jones was playing midfield and right back at the same time, and you're thinking you just need to drop back into midfield. Yeah. You need to play the position you come on to play. But I thought, to be honest, we really missed Hugo and Mo.
Yeah.
I thought having Mo Salah was quite a big blow. I thought he had an incredible game against Galatasaray. Look, we got glimpses of the old Mo Salah, in that game, and I thought he played strong, he played well. He ran, he was getting forward, he was sort of doing everything you expect Mo Salah to do. And then we obviously lost Hugo early in the match. We didn't have a replacement really for him. We didn't have Isak, though he's looking to come back for maybe the PSG games.
I was even pleased Chiesa over Jones.
Yeah, Chiesa did come on, but he come on the 70th minute.
I know, that was ridiculous.
Why did you not put him on in the first place? But look, it was poor. We missed Hugo, we missed Mo, but as well as having a poor game, I thought the centre-backs really did have a poor game. Kanate and Van Dijk. Danny Welbeck had a field day.
I know.
He got 2 goals. He's 35 years of age, Danny Welbeck, and he was playing like he was 17 again. He looked to play really well. I mean, he's the top English scorer in the Premier League this season. He's got 12 goals. He's looking really great. I would probably say if he keeps it up, keeps playing like he does, maybe the England squad.
Maybe, yeah, possibility.
But look, I think we were really poor. I've got a little statistic I found for you. Liverpool have been outrun, so in distance, in 26 of their 30 Premier League games this season, and that puts them 18th in the entire table. Only Chelsea 20th, they've been outrun in every game they played, home and away, which I was a bit like, oh.
That's a bit surprising.
That is a bit surprising, but look, it was really poor. I mean, I'm going to say I didn't watch the game. I was enjoying the sun in London.
I know, I was in work.
But it was really nice. Honestly, look, he
needs to go at this
something
point.
Nice at this point.
He needs to go. And he needs to be replaced by someone that's not him, obviously. But like,
I'm still slotting a little bit.
I don't get that.
I think my where I stand with it is like we've got City and then we've got PSG and then we've got, is it like Fulham,
I've
PSG
got no
and then
hope
Everton.
in those games.
My thing is if we lose to PSG, get gone. But I think this is where they go, the derby. If we lose that derby at the Hill Dickinson and we give them the satisfaction of that
we'll
first
never
win,
live it down.
Never live it down. But I think pure disaster of a game that was against Brighton.
Look like headless
I think
chickens.
the international breaks come at a good time for him. It's like you can sort of sit down, you can analyse what he's got, what players he's got, what he can do.
I think it's too far gone at this point. There's nothing else that he can do to save it. Well,
I have also got another little statistic for you. I found absolutely loads on this game because it all went a bit horribly wrong for everybody. So Liverpool have had the most defeats, 10, in the Premier League in the last decade, and we've still got 7 games left to go.
Oh.
It's...
The season just needs to be over.
Just write the season off, we're done. But, look...
We're just dying a slow death, and it's very painful to watch.
Yeah, and I think, look, as I said, international breaks come at a good time for Arne, so I think he can reset and we can come back stronger. We've got City on that Saturday, the first game we play.
I've got no hope at all. Like, I actually dread to watch it on the telly now.
I don't want to watch that, not after their incredible performance at the weekend from City.
I know.
But, hey, what can you do? We're going to stick with the Premier League, I think. We're going to go on to the relegation battle of Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah. Last season I wouldn't have said that.
No. But coming back from London, I watched the game on the train. And I thought it was good. It was. I mean, Forest were brilliant. They looked strong. They wanted it more than Spurs. And I think the funniest thing out the whole game was Spurs fans lining the streets of Tottenham outside the stadium, and they were flares were going, flags were going, scarves were going, and it looked like they were up for it. It was like Spurs were going to win the title, and it was like that day we had to lose 3-0 to Nottingham Forest. They were so poor. And I remember thinking, they're just going to go down. But what would you do with that stadium at Championship? That's where I stand. Imagine, Blackburn Rovers going. Rovers, that was very northern. But imagine Rovers going.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
It'd look a bit ridiculous.
It would look a bit ridiculous, and you wouldn't be able to fill it, and you just...
No.
But I think it's time for Ignore Judah to go.
Yeah.
Look,
especially what he done with that goalkeeper, he won't never live that down.
No.
When he's at that 19-year-old, that was ridiculous.
I think he's had 7 games in the Premier League and he's got 1 point from them games, and that was against us.
How is he still there?
But look, I don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna go. I don't know who they're gonna get if they go down. But I mean, it's looking it's prominent now that they are gonna go down. Look, they're not gonna.
There's no saving
ever getting back. And you think last season Spurs had a really good squad? They had Son and Solanke.
Yeah, last season, if you said to me now,
Spurs season, go down.
I'd go, no, they're not. What are you on about?
But I mean, the defending was shocking. You've got Christian Romero and you've got Van der Ben, and you think, look, they've got some, players that go and play internationally for their club. They play, they're going to play in the World Cup, and they can't defend for their lives against Morgan Gibbs-White or Elliot Anderson or something, and you're thinking,
oh,
it's not looking great. But I don't know what's going to happen there, and Everton are 3 points behind us now, which...
I'm petrified that they're going to
overtake us. They're going to get European football, let's be honest. If that's Conference League or maybe not Champions League, but they're going to do well.
Which is insane to think about.
I have a quick question for you. We're going to move on, but my quick question is, have you ever seen a manager get booed for taking a player off?
No.
Because it happened on Saturday. Went to a trip to London to watch Charlton Athletic.
Yeah.
Went to go and watch Luke. Very, very good.
Luke Chambers.
He was very good. Got us tickets to go and watch Charlton. I mean, they lost to Norwich 1-0, but
just there for the vibes.
Just there, yeah, in my Charlton shirt. But I think he played really well, and he's one of those players that never switches off. He always knows where the ball is. He always knows what his next move's going to be. It's a bit like chess, to be honest. He was really good. He whipped in a free kick, and it was heading for top corner, and we're all like on our seats going, "Oh, is it going to go in?" And goalkeeper got you, and you're thinking, "Oh well." But he was out for 16 months with a back injury. He got a stress fracture in his bottom of his back. And he was out for 16 months. He never did play a full 90 minutes of football for 16 months, but he's back at it. He's back at Charlton, coming back to us at the end of the season. He's a Liverpool loanee. He's gone to Kilmarnock and had 14 appearances, and he's been to Wigan twice, and he's had 30 appearances for Wigan. I only got a goal and a few assists in there as well, but second time he went to Wigan was when he did his back, and he's at Charlton now, and he's doing really well for Charlton.
Good for him.
I know.
Is he on loan?
On loan, so he's coming back, but look, I'm thinking maybe when
the future's looking bright for the squad. The future's
looking bright. He's it's a prodigy of Liverpool, I think, and he's been there since he was 6. It's looking really good. He made his first competitive debut in September 23 as a sub for the Carabao Cup against Leicester at Anfield. So he's looking really good. But the manager got booed for taking him off. So I think
he's liked by the fans, which is good.
Yeah, he's liked by the fans. But I'm sat there with his mum, his dad, and his girlfriend, going, "Are they booing Luke?" And we couldn't decide if they were booing Luke or booing the manager. We were sort of sat there going, "What are they doing?" And then coming out, I mean, the funniest thing was we were coming out of the ground, and everyone's going, "Can you sign my book? Can you sign my programme? Can you sign my shirt?" And you're thinking, that's really good. And then this woman behind me sort of went, "Absolute travesty, got took off, best player up pitch." And she shouted it. I was thinking, brilliant. Yeah, but look, that was my lovely weekend in London. Went to watch the football, went to do a bit of sightseeing. But have you ever been to the O2?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went for the first time thinking it was just a little arena, a little
You're looking up at it like that?
You're looking up and thinking this is massive, and there's about 30 restaurants and a shopping centre. I bought my new jacket from the Adidas shop
nice.
There, yeah. Didn't want to take my coat to Charlton, I was going to wear this, but I think look, he's going to, if he ever does come back to Liverpool or whatever, then
be happy to have him.
Look, maybe when Robbo leaves, he could be our number 2, but...
Exactly, yeah. And it shows with Rio as well. He's still young, and we accepting young players.
Yeah. I think we're as a Liverpool club, we are so good for building up these kids from academy. And getting them into the first team. And I think that's something that we've done for.
And we look after them as well. We don't just throw them on the pitch. We take time with them and stuff like that.
Well, we're going to move on to the Carabao Cup final, which was on Sunday.
The Mickey Mouse Cup.
Yeah, as some people call it.
Yeah.
Driving back to Euston, I was in a taxi, and on one side you had all the Arsenal fans, and on the other you had the City fans, and your side in the middle going, "Don't want to say anything because the windows are open." But it was a really good atmosphere from what I saw. But City won it.
I know.
Unexpectedly. Do you think City would? I thought it was a draw, and it was going to go to penalties, and I thought Arsenal might have just nicked it. But City won it. I mean, that is...
Just shows, though, it's not always, nailed down that they're going to win. And there's always a chance for them to bottle it, and they did.
City were really strong. That second half, it was 2 hours of football, to be honest, because you had...
Arsenal started off strong in the first half,
really strong, and you're thinking...
And then it just died off towards the end.
It just really died off, and City come out second half, and... I think what was my favourite bit of the entire game was... a Mancunian, so Nico O'Reilly, is from Manchester.
Oh, Manc.
A mank.
Yeah.
What do you call him? A mank?
Mank, yeah.
Mancunian, whatever you want to call him.
Mancunian, I've never heard that.
Have you not?
No.
Oh.
It's going man.
But he's from Manchester, but he scored the 2 goals that won City the Carabao Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a really nice touch to see. But I'm thinking now, look, Arteta, as I said about Arne Slot, this international break's come at a really good time for Mikel Arteta.
He had his hands in his head. His head in his hands.
Yeah. It's come at a really good time for Mikel Arteta because he can sort of sit down over while his players are on an international break and think, look, I can sort of now plan for my games that I've got.
Yeah.
Look, Arsenal are 9 points, I think, ahead of City now. So if City continue to win their games and Arsenal seem to drop, then that gap's going to get closer and closer and closer.
I can't want that to happen.
And when they play each other at the Etihad, it'll all be to play for, and you never know. But I think losing the Carabao Cup to City is a real mentality change for Arsenal, because you know that they're always going to be...
They're in the red now.
They're behind you. But I also think as well, when you think about it, playing like a rival like that, so playing City, and then you play them about 3 or 4 weeks later away from home, and you think, what happened last time we were away from home? You know, and you sort of get it in your head. They're just going to have to mentally block it out and just hope for the best. Mm-hmm. But look, I mean, I'm going to go on to something here, and I'm going to go Kepa, their goalkeeper. So Arsenal didn't put their number 1 goalkeeper, and they didn't put David Raya in.
Why?
They put Kepa in.
Probably thought it might have been easy or something.
Might have been easy, but he has a howler of a game. He seems to... Every Carabao Cup final he plays in, he seems to do something really like a silly decision that he's made.
Stupid, yeah.
Yeah. Like, when you think about it, he was in goal against us and it went to penalties, and it was the goalkeeper's penalty, and Kelleher put it in, and it was looking really good, and Kepa just skied it, and you're thinking, well...
That was silly.
That was silly. Some of the saves he made, but the ball comes in and he puts his hands up like this, and the ball just goes through his hands, and then he claps above his head, and it's in the back of the net, and you think, oh, you've had a howler there, my friend. But Arsenal, if they bottled the title, is that going to be the cause of why they lose the title, do you think?
I reckon the next match will show it.
We got Southampton away in the FA Cup.
Yeah, if they lose or draw to that, then I reckon
it's not going to look good for Arsenal. But they were really poor against City. They seem to have lost... Look, they were so...
Lost all composure.
They lost all their composure, and they just sort of was a bit like, what do we do now? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit... Is it?
Like waiting for it just to happen.
Yeah, it was. They were like sort of relying on sort of like Saka to get forward, or Gyökeres. I thought Gyökeres had a appalling game. Mm-hmm. But my question is, right, because a lot of people were on social media, there was the pundits at half-time saying, look, you need to bring Max Darman on. Mm-hmm. Can you rely on a 16-year-old to pull you out that kind of trouble?
Well, we relied on Rio.
We don't...
We do. In some parts
In some parts of the game, we really rely on Rio. But in a Carabao Cup final...
No, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
Too much pressure on a young kid as well.
Exactly. And he's got to go into school on Monday, you know. It's like...
got to get his head down for his
marks and his GCSEs. I just didn't think it was fair to say to Max Darman, look, I want you to go on.
Yeah.
And I want you to pull us out of this, like, sort of...
It's dangerous to do stuff like that with a young player as well, especially because they're starting so young and they're new to the game, like playing at that level. For them to like put that much pressure on them, it's not going to be enjoyable.
It's not fair, and a lot of the pundits at half-time, I know Jamie Redknapp was saying, bring Max Darman on, he had a great game, and you're thinking, it's not a sort of game at the minute. Maybe if Arsenal could have gone 2-0 up, maybe Max Darman could have been a great introduction. But it was 0-0 at half-time, and City were looking really strong going into half-time. You're thinking it's not the kind of game
to put him on.
But a lot of people on social media were saying, look, you need to.
That's the problem, because that risks a lot of injuries and stuff like that.
A lot more to injuries, and I mean, Arsenal need to just sort of, they need to get their head down. They need to really think about how they're going to play, how they're going to plan to play, Look, because you think about Carabao Cup, Mikel Arteta sort of planned it to how he wants to play it, and City just come out stronger. They were really good. You then go to look at the game at the Etihad where they play each other in the Premier League in a few weeks. Do you think Pep Guardiola is going to have to change the way he's going to play to suit how Arsenal... Do you know what I mean? How Mikel Arteta is going to have to change his plan to go to the Etihad and think, actually, we need to play like this and not like we played in the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah, because they can predict that, can't they? Because they've played against it, yeah. They need to have the shock factor if they want to beat them.
I think the shock factor may be bringing on Daft. What really baffled me, and it's still going to baffle me now, we're still talking about it, was not playing David Raya. To play... I mean, James Trafford... He went from Burnley to City, and he went to, after Edison left, he went to City to be their number one goalkeeper. And then Donnarumma came up for about 26 million. He's just won the Champions League with PSG. You were thinking he's a great addition to the City squad, they're going to be so strong, and they have been this season. But James Trafford went there to be number one, and now he's being number two goalkeeper. And he got played to prove himself, because he doesn't really get played at City. He absolutely just proved everything that he was hoping. He made some incredible saves against Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus. It was really, really like a strong side, but... I don't know where Arsenal can go from this. I think they're going to have to sort of sit down, debrief about what's happened, and just go for it. Because I don't really know what to do.
Do a bit of yoga and lock in, maybe.
Yeah, a bit of yoga. Yoga won't hurt nobody. But I'm going to go to another game that was played on Sunday. Newcastle versus Sunderland.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The double. Sunderland have done the double over Newcastle, and I was thinking, oh, they're not going to win that. They're at St James's Park. They held Barcelona to a 1-1 draw at St James's Park, and that was Barcelona, not Sunderland. They played. It was another game of two halves. I mean, Sunderland made a huge error playing from the back and gave it to Anthony Gordon, and he put it in back at net in the first 10 minutes. But what Sunderland did well, I thought, was they didn't, let that mistake affect the entirety of the game. They really did sort of think, right, okay, we've made this mistake, we're just going to have to go for it. And then went in at half-time 1-0 to Newcastle, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be an interesting second half. Sunderland come out like they're fully refreshed. They just trained for 3 days in the dressing room in 15 minutes, so they were really, really good.
Yeah.
And they got 2 goals, and you think, oh, they've done the double. Where does that put Newcastle, though? Because now Newcastle are really, really struggling with playing for Champions League, Where does it put Newcastle? Where do you put them?
That's a tough one, especially because they've been playing well.
They've had an up and down season.
Yeah.
They've been a bit like us. They'll play a game that's really, really good, and then the next week they'll play like they've never seen a football in their life.
That's the problem, they're unpredictable. And
so inconsistent.
Yeah. So you couldn't really say.
And they got out the Champions League, and it is looking a bit
rocky
for them. Look, Sunderland are now above Newcastle, which is
insane.
And I said this in a video for college. The overachievers of the season have been Sunderland. You would expect them to be sitting with like your Leeds and your Burnleys and like the bottom half of the table. I think they are mid-table.
Trying to prove themselves, yeah.
And I said this, and everybody was going, oh, no. I'm like, yeah. What are you saying now? But I think Newcastle are in some serious, serious trouble this season. Look, they won their first trophy. What was it, 70 years or something? When they beat us in Carabao Cup. Yeah. That was a year ago, and they've really dipped. I think they're missing Isak. Yeah. I thought the way that they brought in the summer, with you've got Armadas, your Whisters, all those sort of players, they didn't really fully replace what they were missing. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like they really struggled bringing in all the players that I don't know what they were thinking, but Sunderland must be really happy. They've done the double over Newcastle. Look, I'm really happy with Sunderland. But we're going to move on to our last topic of the debrief.
Everyone's added at the end as well. Just thought about it.
It's England on Friday. They got Uruguay.
Yeah. Oh.
I hope Darwin's playing. But
How did I know you were going to say that?
I don't know, because I felt like it. Mm-hmm. But look, England's one came out on Friday. There's some I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I was nearly fully right with 26 players.
Yeah.
I was really bang on, and I put Garner in there, and he's in there, and I was thinking,
yeah, he'd be good to watch, definitely.
Look, he had that. I don't know if you saw against Chelsea, but he put a ball right down the middle of 3, and you to Beto, and you're thinking,
wow,
what a ball that is. And then I was like, yeah, but there's one certain player who isn't in the England squad.
Trent.
I don't know
I would have liked to see him play.
I would want to see Trent because, and I think I heard this morning. I listened to the Stick to Football podcast with like Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer, and they were saying this morning, when you go to the World Cup and you're in the semi-finals, the quarter-finals, or whatever at the World Cup, if England get that far, and you're 1-0 down and you've got 10 minutes to go, and you look at your bench and you've got, for example, Trent, Lewis Hall, and then you've got, I don't know, Kwanzaa, you've got all those sort of players. Who would you pick? You'd pick Trent, wouldn't you?
Obviously, yeah.
For that passing ability, the crossings, all of that, you would want to throw off your opponent so much.
He's unpredictable, that's why he's so good, yeah.
And that's what I like about Trent, and you wouldn't have that passing ability if you've not got him in the squad.
Yeah.
And I think not having him in the squad is going to sort of, not massively, but narrow your chances of getting.
Exactly, because Trent does create many chances as well.
And I think it is it's a bit of a travesty that he's not in there. And I was looking at it and I was going, you've got 5 goalkeepers, you've got this, that, and where's Trent?
Yeah.
And it was a massive talk on Sky News when they announced it of, what is Thomas Tuchel doing by not putting Trent in there? And I don't know, I feel like Trent's playing quite well for Madrid. He got an assist the other night for Vinicius Junior against in the derby, and he's doing really well. He's had a great game against City. I just don't know what Thomas Tuchel's not putting him in for. Do you know what I mean? And you're thinking, he's going to be one of your best players in this competition.
Yeah.
I think for me, he gets a seat on that plane. To America. But also, Trent and Bellingham have this, they are like the perfect couple, aren't they? Because
have you seen all those AI videos? They were my favourite to watch. It was the funniest thing ever.
But they are, aren't they? Because if Trent can pass it into Bellingham, Bellingham can run, he's great.
It's
and
like Trent and Salah. Trent and Salah.
It's like a bit like Trent and Salah, isn't it? But I feel like it'd be so interesting to see at the World Cup. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be so nice to see it against, some of the certain teams we might play if we get it further down the competition. I think it is. It is great.
Spain.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I think not having him in, I think it's an absolute disaster. I think it's a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, we'll see how they play and then...
Yeah. Look, they've got Uruguay
his
and then
absence
Japan.
may be very
prominent. Yeah, that's the thing. But I think with this England squad as well, you've got 35 players and you've only got 26 seats to take.
I know, that is a bit...
But in a press conference he had, and he went, why have you got 35 players? He said, well, I'm putting a camp together of everybody I know that can play, so like your Pickfords, your Harry Kanes, everybody I've seen before, and then I'm putting a camp of everybody who's not played for a while. Like John Stones is in this England squad. He hasn't had a start in the Premier League since October.
I don't think he should be playing.
Exactly, but he's going in the camp of players that are new, so like your James Garners and your Lewis Halls are all going in one camp with players that haven't played for a while. And then he's going to mix them together, and I'm thinking, what are you doing?
No, that just sounds a bit...
It is a weird kind of system that he's put together.
See if it works though, could work.
Well, we could see if it could work. Look, you got rid of Southgate, he got us to 2 finals, he never got over the line. You brought him to Thomas Tuchel to get us over the line. You just got to see how he does it. Because
exactly, yeah. Just got to wait it out and see how they play.
Because you watch England football, you watch, like, you know, when we were qualifying for the World Cup and all that, and international matches and all that, and you sort of watch it and you think, oh, it's a bit flat.
Yeah. No shock factor.
There's no shock factor. So we'll just sort of see how they do against Uruguay and Japan. But I think the biggest shock to me as well was no Ollie Watkins.
I know.
And I was thinking, it's a bit of
interesting decision.
It's a bit of an interesting sort of way to put it, because I thought Ollie Watkins has been really good for Aston Villa this season. He's really good for England. He's 30 years of age. This might be his last World Cup. You never know. You don't know how long he's going to play. But Ollie Watkins, he's a great player, and it is a bit of a shock that he's not in there. But look, I think he replied great with it against West Ham. He got a goal. He took it beautifully. Look, I think brilliant.
Yeah.
You just got to see how England play, but having no Trent in there is a big shock factor for me. But
we'll see how it goes, and then
I thought it was the England squad's looking good, but James Garner's in there, and I think that was a really nice name to see
exactly.
on that.
At least he's playing.
But yeah, you said you wanted to finish us off with.
Oh yeah, got something very exciting on the weekend, haven't we? The Legends match.
The Legends match. Yeah. I have just thought of this. Are you going?
Yes, I am.
I'm going too, and
I'm taking Eden with me. It's the first match at Anfield.
Is it?
It's not like an actual, well, it's a Legends match, but like still, it's the first time there, so that should be good.
I'm gonna represent the college, I think, and I'm gonna wear my Gerrard top.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll probably just be wearing my normal clothes.
Yeah. I'm gonna wear my Gerrard top, but the Legends match. It's a great lineup.
I'm excited for it, yeah. Especially the
Klopp
managers as well.
Anfield.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas Day.
I want them back, like, for definite.
Yeah, you've got Kenny Dalglish, and then you've got Ian Rush. I think John Barnes, and then Jurgen Klopp.
Klopp's just. I'm going for Klopp.
I'm going for Gerrard
and Stephen, of course.
But hey, Legends match. We'll discuss Legends match probably next week on the podcast. I feel like that would be
put a few updates and
see what we get. But the Legends match, look, I'm going, you're going, taking my mum.
My little sister I'm taking.
Yeah, Jack's going fishing. I was like, what's that about? But have we fully debriefed?
I think so, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us on the 5th episode of the Debrief. I'm Megan Fish, and I've been joined by Freya Rathbone. We'll see you next time for episode 6. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.